A true man is born to chase after mighty strengths. Yet Gojo, from our very home, always softens up and goes easy on those things. Sports, martial arts, soccer, basketball, and all that jazz, nothing sparks his interest except crafting the cutest Hina dolls imaginable. Influenced since birth by the family's ancient doll-making tradition, Gojo's passion has drawn mockery, labeling him as the crazy guy obsessed with girly toys. Worse, even his lifelong best friend exposed him and cut ties completely. After that early life shock from his old pal, Gojo withdrew deeper into his shell. Days filled with school in the morning, meals at night, and helping Grandpa with dolls. His dream? To craft a super adorable doll, the absolute best, and claim the Golden Touch title from his grandfather. This bright morning, as always, he joined Grandpa for breakfast before heading to school. Like his peers who've been in high school a while, Grandpa asked if he'd found a close group of friends to hang out with yet. After all, his introverted grandson never had any real buddies. In high school, will things get any better on your own? Now in high school, let's see if it's improved at all. Caught off guard by Grandpa's question, Gojo felt a twinge of unease, his face a mix of emotions, but he replied, "Of course, I have friends. Though, our guy was just fibbing to ease Grandpa's worries. In high school, it's still the same, no friends, let alone a girlfriend." In class, watching friends chat about viral social media trends, he yearned to join in. But, devoted to his doll passion, he couldn't blend back into their world. Lost in thoughts of his nearly finished cute doll, suddenly a girl tumbled straight toward Gojo. He looked closely. It was Marin, the most beautiful girl in class, who got carried away playing and crashed into him. With eyes like jewels and brows like silk, she always made people feel at ease with her stunning looks. As she stood up, she quickly apologized to Gojo for the mishap. Surprisingly, though they'd never spoken, she remembered his name. And more spotting a stain on his hand, Marin naturally leaned down and wiped it away. In his first close encounter with a girl, Gojo felt so embarrassed he wanted to hide under his clothes, but Marin casually said, "Who cares? Let me clean it up." Unable to handle it, he pulled his hand back politely saying, "I'll handle it myself." Only then did she cheerfully let go. Watching her graceful figure walk away, Gojo wore a mix of confusion and unspoken longing. Though she's the most striking beauty in class, Marin is incredibly friendly with everyone, never acting superior or judgmental. She's always cheerful and optimistic, stealing the spotlight in class. While he's like an invisible shadow to all, their worlds are as different as a soaring bird in the vast sky and a worm on barren ground. Yesterday after school, a handsome guy tried chatting up Marin, but he was so tactless, mocking her anime hobbies, and got instantly rejected on the spot. She hates anyone who belittles others' interests like that. Those words happened to reach Gojo's ears, making him like her even more. The sting of having hobbies mocked. Gojo knows it all too well. It's unbearably frustrating. Still, after class, his classmates took advantage of his kind, quiet nature and left him to clean up alone. He's used to it now, so he doesn't bother calling them out. As he tidied up by himself, Marin suddenly walked in, claiming it was her turn for duty, and helped arrange the desks. After hearing how those guys ditched with excuses of part-time jobs, with her straightforward personality, Marin stated, "They're just taking advantage of your kindness. The ones who get it always end up suffering the most." She urged him to call them out next time and not be so passive, stand up for himself. From that day, her advice to not hold back and fight back against bullies echoed in his mind. Distracted by those thoughts, his sewing went wrong, and he cut his hand. Grandpa brought a bandage to stop the bleeding, but worse, the sewing machine broke and needs fixing, forcing him to bed early and toss all night. Gojo was eager to quickly make outfits for the new doll Grandpa just crafted. Suddenly remembering something, his gloomy mood flipped 360 degrees to pure excitement, anticipating tomorrow. After school the next day, the expert sneaked off to the crafts room with his half-sewn outfit to use the machine there. It's usually quiet at this hour, so he could work freely without worry. Unlucky for him, today he ran into Marin here, right when he was chattering away to his beautiful doll. Mortified, he wished he could vanish into a hole. Worse than a nightmare, meeting her wide-eyed, bewildered stare, Gojo sweated bullets, thinking, "Oh no, this is beyond saving," as he braced for her laughter at his silly self. Instead, Marin knelt down with total admiration on her face. Her eyes sparkled as she praised the doll in his hands. "It's gorgeous." For the first time, someone complimented his so-called girly hobby, and Gojo felt overjoyed. Especially seeing his expert machine skills, Marin was even more amazed. He explained that his family has a long doll-making history, with Grandpa designing them himself. As for the outfits, that's his job, so he's totally familiar with the sewing machine. Suddenly, Marin stood up and stripped off her clothes, leaving Gojo stunned. Why is she so bold? He thought this was his first time getting close like that, but Noi was for her anime cosplay passion. She'd made the outfit herself, based on the picture, and it was close, but not quite. Gojo stepped in, pointing out the sewing flaws. In short, as an expert, he rated it a solid 1 out of 10. Getting carried away, he didn't realize his harsh words were about to make her cry. Spotting her teary eyes, he felt guilty as sin and bowed, begging, "Please forgive me, I won't do it again." Marin desperately wants to become her favorite character, Shizuku, but her sewing skills are non-existent. Fate brought them together, so she insisted he make the outfit for her, no matter what. She'd pay, of course. Remembering her encouraging words and her straightforward, passionate nature against bullies, Gojo felt a stir he couldn't ignore. In the end, he agreed to sew the outfit for Marin. Thinking of her cosplay dream coming true, she jumped with joy, thrilled beyond words. To get it right, she told him to buy that slightly risque book at home and read it. But for our introverted guy, besides dolls, he had no clue what that even meant. After she explained this shy girl character that's been trending, Gojo still felt clueless, like he was in the Dark Ages. One thing he knew for sure, she truly loves this character. Her face lit up with pure happiness as she talked about it. He wondered why stuff like 18+ games are usually guy obsessions, yet she's so into it. Oh, why not? If it's a hobby, Marin believes guys and girls have equal rights. For the first time, someone empathized with his interests, and Gojo was touched to tears. "All right, deal sealed. If we're doing this, it's got to be perfect for her." In a quick chat, to make sewing easier, Marin handed him a detailed guide from A to Z, even on fabric choices. With a guide like that, and she still messed it up, you can tell how bad she is at home crafts. Since tomorrow's the weekend with little time, he's scheduled to measure her waist on Monday and go fabric shopping together. Back home, he seriously studied her sewing guide when a loud doorbell rang, making him curious about the visitor. The shop's closed today since Grandpa's out buying a machine. Opening the door, wow, what a surprise, it's Marin herself. They'd planned for Monday, but here she is on Sunday, using Google Maps to drop by for measurements early. Get it done early, and she can wear it sooner. She's just too excited at home and couldn't wait. She's been restless at home, heart racing. To make up for stealing his Sunday rest, Marin offered to buy him breakfast. While he was still recovering, she boldly walked straight into his room without waiting. As an outgoing girl, she glanced around curiously, showing no shyness about entering a guy's space. Meanwhile, Gojo's face was redder than a beet, since no one but Grandpa had ever been in his room. Now, with this alluring girl stepping in, how could he stay calm? Determined not to fumble in front of her, he composed himself and suggested she get someone else to take her measurements. Not that he disliked Herits, just that it involves bikini areas, so he's a bit hesitant. But no compromise, as she insisted it had to be him. Witnessing her stunning figure up close, Gojo nearly fell over, wondering how the creator could tease him like this. Especially, the moment she touched him, he jolted like an electric shock. How can he handle this? Starting with the head, Gojo accidentally brushed her hair and panicked, face-planting on the ground. For the shoulders, he thought it'd be easier since he wouldn't face her curves directly. But dodging one issue led to another. He forgot about her full figure up front and back. Still, she stayed serious, making it as easy as possible for him to measure. Yet, his mind wandered to improper thoughts, and he deserved those 2 punches and nearly a nosebleed. Gojo resolved to keep his focus pure and get those measurements done. After a struggle, it was finally over, but she remembered the shoes and asked him to measure those too. Even if shoes are ready-made and modified, wrong sizes would hurt her feet badly. So, better measure now. With the bed handy, she sat on it for him, skipping the search for a chair. Even as he begged her to leave because it's dirty, she insisted on perching there, placing her foot on his sweaty lap, demanding he measure right away. Gojo was so nervous he held his breath, and once done, thought he was in the clear. But Marin kept pushing, now wanting him to measure her chest. If she did it herself, she'd have to bend, throwing off the measurement. The measurement would be off, and Gojo really wanted to lose his mind because things down there were stirring again. In for a penny, in for a pound, he gritted his teeth and measured that sensitive spot for her. Thought it was over, but not quite. Now came the peak of boldness. To perfect the bus lift, he needed to measure the distance between those most intimate spots. Measuring that now, he'd rather bang his head on the pillow and call it quits. Who could handle that? But it was just a joke. Did he have to freeze up like a statue? Still, hearing the distance she mentioned made Gojo's face go pale and stiff. Gojo started hating himself for getting flustered over every little thing like a rabbit. He wished he could be like her, always calm, optimistic, and full of life. Finally, the pants leg measurement wrapped it up. Strangely, no issues all session, but now Marin's face flushed bright red. Caught by Gojo, She awkwardly blamed it on the room being too hot. After the ordeal, to learn more about the character, Gojo asked to see material on the game. She had it with her, and glimpsing her half-exposed figure, Gojo quickly bowed his head to hide what was below. You know what I mean. That evening, Gojo seriously studied the steamy girl content. Grandpa came home, heard the sounds, and thought he was watching adult films. Seeing Grandpa's confused look, he casually said, "Go eat dinner," then dove back in, leaving Grandpa even more baffled. He knows Gojo's at that age for such things, but that serious face seems a bit over the top, kid. As the saying goes, what you see by day, you dream at night. Spot on. Now, after staring at 18+ stuff all day and researching bold stories at night, Gojo's dreaming some steamy scenes with her, about her. Waking up from that desire-filled dream, he jolted awake and looked down, horrified to find he'd made a mess all over the bed. At school, he tried avoiding Marin, but the more he dodged, the more she appeared right in front of him. She's truly the beauty who draws everyone's eyes wherever she goes. Spotting shy Gojo standing there, she ran over to thank him for the measurements yesterday. Mentioning the outfit in progress, the dream flashed back like a flood, making him want to bolt. Marin enthusiastically showed off her new hairdo, clearly hoping for his praise. But he's never complimented a girl before, so his words came out flatter than flat soda. The longer we stay, the more dangerous it becomes. Gudu quickly finds an excuse to leave. Overhearing the gossip from those camera spirits, it seems Majin might have a bold taste, dating someone as random as that. Those words hit like punches. Gudu quietly listens and then pretends not to care, like water off a duck's back. Even so, to shield her from the harsh gossip of those busybodies, Gudu starts avoiding her at every turn, in every situation. In the end, secrets can't stay hidden forever. She catches him red-handed behind the roadside bushes. Because his avoidance is so obvious, Majin shows her frustration and questions him. Why avoid me like I'm some curse? Honesty brings forgiveness. Speak the truth, and you'll be spared. The young man confesses the whole misunderstanding, that people think we're a couple. The more she hears, the more adorable he seems. Majin even teases him, saying, "Hey, why not turn this fake romance into something real?" Seeing him flustered beyond words, she quickly clarifies, "I'm just joking, relax. Don't let baseless rumors get to you. She doesn't care about them, so why should you? If we're going, let's go. If not, let's still go." Grabbing her future husband's hand, Majin suggests they go pick out fabric together. With his careful nature deeply ingrained, Gudu meticulously sketches all the essential accessories to match the outfit. After picking and choosing for a while, Gudu suddenly realizes he's forgotten his wallet today. No money. What a mess. Don't worry about that. Majin can cover the cost for all this. With her veteran modeling skills, she easily earns enough to cover expenses for both of them. One advises, the other buys the finest fabric. At the wig shop, she considers a mysterious black, but he suggests purple instead, perfect for Shizuku's signature look. Oh well, she's just casually browsing, not as knowledgeable as a true expert. The finest wig goes into the basket, along with many other items Gudu carefully selects. Majin feels overjoyed to have stumbled upon such a dedicated tailor, even more enthusiastic than herself. Her affection for this lucky tailor surges to new heights in an instant. Next up is buying underwear to complete today's noble mission. However, facing this terrifying challenge is a huge dilemma for Gudu. All around are beautiful women picking out clothes. Gudu wants to slip outside and wait, but his partner won't allow it. Once she's changed, she peeks out for him to check if it fits, nearly making him collapse on the spot. Before he pushes her back in, she teases, "Think of this as your reward for spending the day with me. If you're not satisfied, I have even sexier ones." That evening, the two decide to grab a meal to fill their rumbling stomachs before heading home. They stroll to the station together, discussing the steamy scenes from The Sloppy Maiden. As luck would have it, those gossiping camera spirits are there too, sparing no one. Overhearing them, they immediately label the two as wayward high school students. Majin pulls out professional cosplay photos from fellow enthusiasts. Scrolling to a girl named Du, she's a master of transformation, and Majin admires her deeply, dying to meet her idol. After dinner, Majin treats herself to another dessert. She offers some to Gudu, but he declines. Enjoying her treat, she remembers the upcoming event and worries about gaining weight, so she promises her guy she'll stay in shape. Later, Majin shows off her new hair, but the dense young man can't even compliment her. He shares that as a child, enchanted by Doll's beauty, he now struggles to praise ordinary things. Majin doesn't hold it against him. Instead, she thanks Gudu for his hard work helping her all day. At first, she didn't believe he'd seriously research cosplay for her. She's invited many, but they all backed out except Gudu. Majin is truly grateful. He asks when the cosplay event is, so he can plan accordingly. Hearing it's in 2 weeks, the young man's face pales, and he stands frozen in shock. As the train arrives, she cheerfully says goodbye. Gudu stands there, dazed, lingering on his future wife's fading figure. Just thinking about finishing the outfit in 2 weeks fills him with overwhelming despair. Normally, making doll clothes takes that long. For adult sizes, it might take 12 times as much, oh no. Well, what's done is done, no choice now. Because he knows how much his partner longs for this costume. Returning home with a whirlwind of emotions, his grandfather asks if he's out late with girls now that he's all grown up. After hearing his explanation about shopping with a friend, the old man's eyes catch the alluring lace stockings, and he's shocked, collapsing on the spot. The fall is serious for an elder, so he rushes him to the hospital. His cousin Miori hurries over after getting the news. Luckily, the injury isn't severe, but he needs 2 weeks of rest. Gudu usually gets home late from school. His cousin suggests the grandfather stay at her place for recovery. It's always occupied and near the hospital for easy visits. Following their advice, the grandfather tells Gudu to bring his clothes tomorrow, and don't forget his comb. The next morning, Majin hears about it and comforts him, saying elders heal faster than us young ones. Wait, now that her dear husband is alone, she wants to exchange phone numbers. If anything comes up, just call your wife. After swapping contacts, Gudu heads to class with her. Passing the school bulletin board, he panics, remembering next week is midterm exams. With sewing, managing the shop, and studying to avoid expulsion, he's 3 parts helpless, 7 parts worried. From that day, after school, Gudu races home like the wind, no dawdling. Even if the beauty calls him back, he's already gone in a flash. Studies at home, then attends to shop visitors. Afternoons for reviewing, evenings sewing tirelessly until dawn, then back to school. He seizes every moment, even if his hands bleed from needles, determined to finish on time. Noticing his strange behavior lately, in the evening, Marin stops by his house with some food, but the dark house makes her think he's at his cousin's, so she disappointedly heads home with the meal. Little does she know the one she misses is right there. Gojo just turned off the lights to focus undisturbed on sewing her outfit. Now, Gojo struggles as dizziness hits, forcing him to lie down and rest. Regaining his spirit, it's been days without proper sleep, the house a mess, dishes piled in the sink. The more he thinks, the more he sees himself as a failure, struggling just to make one outfit. Dreaming of becoming a master tailor feels impossibly far. Overwhelmed by exhaustion and pent-up emotions, tears stream down uncontrollably. Memories of his grandfather's words flash through his mind. That time, his grandfather showed him the joyful smiles of customers admiring dolls. He advised that no matter how tired, thinking of their smiles gives the strength to keep going. Recalling her beaming smile while waiting for the outfit, his heart swells with endless determination. Calming his mind, Gojo dives back into work, for now isn't the time to give up. Finally, after countless sleepless nights crafting the perfect piece, he completes her outfit right on the deadline. Seeing the stunning costume beyond her expectations, Marin is over the moon with happiness. But Gojo has misunderstood her intentions completely. There are countless cosplay events, not just this one. She planned to wait until he finished and find other events. Marin intended to wait for him to finish, then seek other events instead of this specific day. Facing his exhausted state, she apologizes for not explaining clearly, leading him to overwork himself to the point of illness. She feels deeply guilty. Witnessing her tearful remorse, Gojo can't bear to blame her. Instead, he sighs in relief, having worried she might miss the event. Luckily, there's still time to fix any imperfections. By the way, everything's here. He wants her to cosplay right away. He'll handle hair and makeup from A to Z. Having applied makeup to dolls so often, doing it for her is a breeze. Shizuku's character has long, curled lashes, so Gojo pulls out his ready sets to attach for her. Marin stares in shock, stammering if these are his. Oh no, dear, don't misunderstand. Many dolls need long lashes. He buys them to enhance their beauty. To prove it, he shows the latest doll his grandfather made. It's breathtakingly exquisite. Marin marvels at the skill of both the makeup artist and the tailor. In passing, Gojo shares his dream to create the most perfect dolls like his grandfather. Don't worry, Marin smiles sweetly to encourage her love. Where there's will, there's a way. She believes he'll achieve it and even surpass his goals. Her wonderful words of comfort make Gojo smile back. Yeah, I'll try my best. For the first time, seeing her husband smile so brightly, Marin feels a flutter at his handsome, chivalrous charm. Enough chatting. He gets to work on her makeup, from base to powder, lashes, ice everything with precision. The young man does it all meticulously. Finished, Gojo steps out to wait for the beauty to change. The door opens, signaling she's ready. Revealing her cosplay to him, not only are her facial features perfect, but the outfit he made fits like a glove. He can confidently say she's Shizuku straight from the game. It fits well, but arm movements are a bit stiff, Next time, he'll adjust for more flexibility. Plus, Marin loves how it lifts and shows off her confident curves. It holds everything up perfectly while flaunting her measurements. She even strikes a bold pose, leaving him blushing and reminding himself to stay composed. Looking this stunning and not posting for the world to see would be a crime against herself. She hands him her phone, asking him to snap some elegant shots. Rushing to the only white wall that matches her vibe, she starts posing for him, his photography skills shining. However, in the first photo, Shizuku's interface clashes with Marin's trademark grin. He wants her to show Shizuku's mysterious, cool, slightly shy expression, not that playful fish-like smile. Following the designer's advice, she immerses herself in the character, posing with full heart. Gazing at the perfect Shizuku on his phone, Gojo can't look away. He can't stop staring. It must be said, it's spot on, incredibly perfect without a single flaw. Seeing herself transformed into her favorite character, Marin bursts into joyful laughter that won't stop. Laughing with big eyes, rosy cheeks, fair skin, Marin is truly beautiful. She tries different poses, each with unique expressions. Everyone captures Shizuku's essence, like identical twins from different worlds. Uploading the photos, Marin changes her mind. Tomorrow, she wants him to join her at the event as thanks for his dedication. At first, the young man hesitates, but seeing her eager face, Gojo agrees. Okay, I'll go with you, my wife. The next morning, one in casual clothes, the other as Shizuku. They head to the venue. This cosplay spot is different. It's packed with people, each in various outfits. You can say they're all embodying their beloved characters. Marin stands out in her Shizuku costume, the first successful one, drawing waves of admiration from everyone. However, Marin insists, haha, they're probably just jealous of her massive spirit. Indeed, her confidence is unmatched. Let them envy. Look, the more attention she gets, the happier she is, proving her charm is unbeatable. In contrast to his confident wife, Gojo feels shy and out of place. With so many girls around, it's overwhelming, and in his everyday clothes, he feels like Tang Sanzang lost in the spider cave. But Marin dismisses his self-doubt, affirming that casual cosplay has its own appeal, so he should just relax and blend into the lively crowd. Glancing around, spotting countless favorite characters brought to life, Marin gets even more excited. Suddenly, a guy recognizes her as Shizuku and asks for a few photos. Why hesitate? Girls dress up to get photographed. Let's do this. Let the enthusiastic photographer work. Marin starts posing for him. He captures her beautiful moments one after another. Fellow enthusiasts unite. Before saying goodbye, Marin asks for a commemorative photo with the photographer. Fair is fair. One leads to another. One by one, handsome guys and beautiful girls line up for photos with her. Watching the queue over there, while here they line up to shoot with her, it's all about the spotlight. Our beautiful lady looks just like a professional model, eagerly sought after and outshining all the hot girls in the entertainment world. The more Gojo gazes at her natural beauty, the harder it is for him to look away. He glances around at the eye-catching figures, but truly, no one stands out like his wife. Gojo feels joyful for bringing happiness to Marin, yet sad knowing he won't be by her side much longer. The promise is fulfilled, so Gojo has no reason to make clothes for Marin anymore. Thinking back, it's true a lone soul like him was lucky she even started a conversation. This is his first time stepping into a crowd-filled place. His introverted nature never dared before. Right now, everything feels like a vivid dream, and he's about to wake from this happy escape. Lost in thought, he suddenly looks up and meets her sweet smile directed straight at him. His heart skips a beat in that intense moment. Marin rushes to her beloved husband, announcing she wants to take off her outfit right away. It's simply because the thick fabric is so hot, and her hair is damp from the stuffiness. More than that, after seeing Shizuku's photos yesterday, she felt her chest wasn't enough, so she added 2 layers of padding. Oh, that cheeky one, people sew to exact measurements, but she adds 2 layers anyway. She's lucky not to suffocate. It's a classic case of greed leading to trouble. The more they stand and chat, the more tired they get, so he pulls her inside to rest. Luckily, he had cooling patches ready. Applying one to her forehead, she feels an instant wave of relief and comfort. However, this patch only cools the area around it. Right now, her whole body is overheated and uncomfortable. Dragging herself to the restroom in this state might make her faint. Marin asks him to help unzip her back a little. Then, she asks him to use a cloth to cool her down. At first, an introverted guy like Gojo is too scared to make such a bold move, but seeing her struggle, he grits his teeth and fulfills her subtly intimate request. The coolness on her back makes Marin feel incredibly at ease, letting out soft sighs of relief. You all can imagine how thrilling it is. Even I can't handle it, let alone a straight-up gentleman like him. Behind her, he's so nervous he barely breathes, fearing he'd cross a line with his dear wife. The discomfort fades, and Marin hopes Gojo, We'll come back to spot C with her for a moment. It turns out she left earlier because she was too tired. Her sister was taking photos and is still waiting for Marin to finish the session. A tiring day passes, and Marin and Gojo take the train home. On the train, she expresses how satisfied she is with today's camping event. Still, she regrets not getting photos with any characters. Gojo promises himself to take pictures with everyone next time. Because she still wants to cosplay as other characters she loves. That means she still wants Gojo as her lucky Tailor on this passion-filled journey. He was just worried about not having an excuse to be near this beauty. Now, she gives him the perfect reason. It's amazing. Going with the flow, he nods in agreement to secure his spot without delay. After a long day, Gojo feels exhausted and wants to nap. Before sleeping, he recalls his wife's beauty. He blurts out that she looks truly beautiful today. His words are like sweet honey. Remembering before, Gojo once said he only calls something beautiful if it's special to him. So, when did this beauty become so special to him? Gojo is out. Marin panics, turning to see him drifting into dreams of a home with children, leaving her heart in chaos. And this is the first time our beauty feels shy enough to blush deeply, unable to utter a word in response. The next day, Marin brings the wig and outfit to his house. After washing everything, Gojo offers to do it, but since it's her stuff, Marin won't let this strong young man wash a woman's clothes. By the way, there's a book here with the best guide for washing clothes. He stands beside her, reading it aloud. But occasionally, her eyes sneak glances at him, her heart filled with unfamiliar confusion. Every now and then she blushes, even though the weather isn't hot at all. Meanwhile, in the car driven by her cousin, waiting for Grandpa to return home, Grandpa reveals his fall was because he saw his clueless grandson buying women's underwear to bring home. It's mind-blowing. His sister laughs, saying Grandpa is over-worried, as the boy is at that age and should develop naturally. But just as they relax, stepping inside, Grandpa sees him holding a woman's outfit next to a beautiful girl. Shocked beyond words, Grandpa is stunned and falls back from his wild grandson's surprise. His back, just starting to heal, now needs more patches for the pain. After the lingering pain, hearing their explanation that they're just sewing clothes and nothing improper, Grandpa sighs in relief and apologizes to Marin for the misunderstanding. Luckily, his wild grandson hasn't gone astray as feared. Knowing he just finished sewing this outfit for her, Grandpa approaches, nodding in admiration. Well done. A+, A+. Keep up the great work on the next outfits, kid. From behind, Marin watches Gojo's cute interaction with Grandpa, and her heart beats wildly again. Then, she realizes an undeniable truth. Oh no. Yet she likes it. This handsome, chivalrous Gojo has won her over. That's why she keeps gazing at him endlessly throughout the day. As wise ones say, when you unexpectedly fall for someone, your eyes will always seek them out. It turns out, after spending time together and his unintentional compliment in his half-asleep state, our beauty has fallen hard. From then on, during dinner, Grandpa invites her to stay and eat with the family. Seeing the meal Gojo cooked, she marvels. He didn't know he was this capable too. Just looking at it makes her mouth water. Hearing that Marin's mom passed away early and her dad works far away, she eats takeout daily. Sometimes she cooks, but it's just random stuff. Feeling for her, Grandpa says, "If you don't mind, come here next time for the grandson's cooking." With a chance to eat his meals every day, Marin couldn't be happier and nods eagerly to her future husband. The meal is delicious, and the atmosphere is warm and joyful. Gojo walks her to the bus stop, but she shows clear reluctance, not wanting to leave him. However, she can't let him notice her obvious feelings, so she smiles and says to Gojo, "See you tomorrow." When a girl has a crush, her mind is always on that person. Somehow, she's always thinking of him, even on the bus, recalling their simplest conversations. That day, it rained heavily. A girl runs to Gojo's door, and Grandpa mistakes her for someone here for him, inviting her in from the rain. When Gojo returns and hears Grandpa's story, he's baffled, as besides his future wife Marin, he has no other girlfriends. Don't kid yourself. Fearing a thief or scammer, he carefully goes in to check. When he opens the bathroom door, oh my, what a surprise. Grandpa, who is this unfamiliar, mischievous Lolita girl? Both are startled. She falls on the spot, giving him an eyeful that's hard to forget. Our beauty knows you're upset, big brother. Quickly cover your eyes before it's too late. After the shocking yell, they calm down and sit to talk in an awkward atmosphere. Knowing this awkward situation is his fault, he asks softly, "What brought you here?" The girl shyly asks, "Did you make that outfit?" Gojo thinks she's here for doll clothes and gets excited. He even grabs a pen to note her name. And that's how he learns she's actually a year older. He was calling her casually before, now respectfully call her sister. This girl is named Inujuna, a second year at an all-girls school. At first he thought she was here for doll sewing, so he enthusiastically leads her to the display shop. But he misunderstood her intent. Sister, you're here for Marin's cosplay outfit. Oh, but we don't sell those clothes here. Please go to another shop. If you insist on trouble, we'll have issues. Not one to give up easily, she brings up how Gojo dared to burst into a girl's bathroom and threatens, "Watch out, I might report you to the police," forcing him to sew for her. Coincidentally, during their talk, Gojo realizes she's Juju, the idol Marin admires most. As for how she knew he made the outfit, she doesn't tell him. She had been following them after seeing Marin's demo photo online. Sewing can wait. Meeting such an important figure, he naturally informs his wife to score more points. Getting the big news, Marin rushes over at full speed, meeting her idol up close like this, who wouldn't be thrilled? And our beauty has been smiling non-stop since. With her outgoing nature, she quickly switches to attack mode, bombarding Juju with questions, while also expressing her endless admiration for Juju. In contrast, Gojo shows clear discomfort with her enthusiastic attitude. He thinks this girl must be the type who gets bored quickly, treating cosplay as just a pastime. This time, Juju is here to ask him to sew an outfit to become her favorite character, Shion. The story of this anime is quite complex, and of course a newbie like him sits listening and still doesn't get it at all. In short, she wants him to sew something that fits her modest height. No matter the cost, she's willing to pay. Marin loves this character too, but her height doesn't match, so she gave up that dream. For Marin, cosplay is her passion, so she never wants to ruin the image of her favorite character. Now, Juju regrets her shallow judgment of Marin. It turns out she's like Juju, seriously passionate about cosplay. As the saying goes, don't judge a book by its cover. Feeling ashamed, Juju runs to apologize to Marin, but she and Gojo are left confused by her odd action, full of question marks. Thanks to that, Juju's dislike for Marin fades away. Quickly respecting the main player, since she's somewhat his wife's idol, he agrees to sew the outfit for her. Okay, I'll send you my measurements. And just to clarify, this is only for sewing, no other intentions, or your girlfriend might misunderstand and cause trouble. At the same time, her glance at Marin seems to say, I know you two are dating. Oh, misunderstanding. Gojo panics and rushes to explain. In my life, besides dolls, I've never touched a girl's skin. All talk and no action isn't right. As for Marin, she smiles knowingly at the mix-up. Oh, so this girl has a one-sided crush. Suddenly remembering this show has a female lead, Sion's sister, Marin decides to pair up with the idol for an epic cosplay duo, but for Juju, who wants to cosplay with an unknown like her? So, the answer is naturally no. Juju only wants to cosplay alone for the best photos. Group collaborations are off the table. However, hearing Juju is going big by hiring a professional studio, Marin's eyes light up like headlights, offering to cosplay together. I'll cover the studio costs. If his wife is in, Gojo can't stay out, so he asks to join the team. Sadly, she doesn't know how to do makeup, so he takes on that role for her. He has to be there. Gojo, as clueless as she is, looks like a fairy but doesn't know makeup at all. It's unbelievable. But with two people covering costs, it saves money and lets them invest the rest in outfits. Such a great deal would be a waste to pass up. So, this time, she reluctantly agrees to cosplay with Marin. And our beauty is over the moon, beaming with joy at cosplaying with her idol. Learning more about Gozu, she wants to watch that anime carefully. Sadly, it's off the air now. Majin has the DVD at home. Tomorrow, if you're free, stop by any time. That evening, Gozu shows Grandpa the doll he just finished drawing. He thinks with how busy he's been, his skills must have dropped a lot. Showing it, Grandpa admires and says his grandson's skills have improved greatly. It seems sewing for Majin has helped him a lot. When doing her makeup, he must have observed every detail, making the doll's features so lively. Finally, Grandpa advises, to become a master artisan, he needs to observe more than just existing dolls. The next morning, he goes to Majin's house as planned, but she's still in bed when he rings the bell, yawning as she opens the door. Just woken up, she's in pajamas, half covered, with her soft curves in view. Not having seen it in a while, it catches Gozu's eye, making him shy, though it's not his first accidental glimpse. That's how it should be for a good boy. Who would pounce like some fools, their eyes lighting up at a girl's figure like car headlights? Seeing him freeze and say nothing, Marin turned to look at herself in the mirror, but she thought he had noticed she wasn't wearing her contacts, so she quickly dashed inside. Goju was at a loss with this girl. It turned out she only cared about those lenses, so innocent that it could be her downfall. With lightning speed, she had them in and a jacket thrown on in no time. Her bare face she could show him, but she was determined to wear those contact lenses no matter what. I just bought them, and then went inside with her to wait. Goju handed her the cake he had just bought. Then, as she walked ahead, he let out a sigh of relief. He had been so tense he nearly collapsed, as this was his first time stepping into a girl's house. He was determined to grab the DVD as quickly as possible and leave, but that was Goju's plan. Marin wouldn't miss this chance to be with him. With a rare opportunity for a date like young couples in love, Marin suggested they watch the movie together to build their bond. Entering her room, it was filled with a sophisticated lady's style, easing his worries about spotting something too personal. Goju watched the film intently, while our beauty Marin knew it by heart and seized the moment to gaze at him up close. After admiring him, she blushed in embarrassment, making her expressions adorably cheesy. Staring too openly, afraid he might notice, Marin reluctantly turned her eyes to the television to watch with her crush, but it just so happened to show the dating scene of the couple in the film. Marin grew even more flustered, realizing that watching alone together felt just like a date for couples. Waves of happiness washed over her, and sitting with him like this made her feel completely content. But right then, her hungry stomach grumbled, shattering the romantic atmosphere. She had schemed this herself, so she had to deal with the consequences. She had gone to such lengths to arrange it, but now she faced the fallout alone. Who else could she blame? Having freeloaded off her crush's meals before, she volunteered to handle breakfast herself. Simple breakfasts were her specialty, whipped up in just a few minutes. Slipping on her jacket and apron, she embodied the perfect housewife. Oh no, she suddenly realized she forgot her bra, but if it showed, only he would see, so what was there to worry about? She let it be for the cool breeze. Spotting eggs in the fridge, she imagined a romantic egg dish to treat him. But imagination and reality clashed. After stirring, it looked like a messy scramble. Marin sat disappointed in a corner. Yet he didn't complain at all, taking the plate and eating politely, praising her cooking as delicious good substance over good looks. Though not eye-catching, the taste was just right. Thanks to that, Marin scored big as the ideal homemaker in his heart. That evening, Goju called to update Juju that he had sent the costume design. Okay, I'm checking it now, sweetie. Juju was surprised he could detail the fabric so well. Goju promised to help her save as much as possible and wanted advice on making eyes look bigger for the makeup. She quickly explained via video. Use this tape to secure it. With it, changing cheekbones, eyelids, or face angles becomes so much easier. Moving to Juju's photos, she noticed they looked more natural, vibrant, and sharper than the ones Goju took of Marin. Simply put, camera photos are always better than phone ones. Juju revealed her perfect shots were taken by her little sister. If he wanted, she could ask her to teach him how to use a camera. Hearing about free lessons from a photography pro like Marin's sister, he was thrilled and insisted on tagging along. She was sure Juju's little sister would be even cuter and tinier than Juju. But boy, was she wrong. This giant girl was actually Juju's sister. Shizu had an amazing body-towering height, perfect curves, even bigger than Marin's. Knowing Shizu was still in middle school shocked them even more. As if by habit, his eyes glanced at her chest, and he silently admired her impressive size. Before he could speak, Marin blurted out, asking about her size. Assuming she meant the same thing, he thought she was eyeing those curves, but they were just talking about height. Feeling guilty, he quietly reminded himself to curb those naughty thoughts. Their goal was to learn photography from Shizu for the two novices, so she showed photos she took of her sister. Each one was so natural and beautiful, with adorable expressions and perfect angles that brought them to life. The more Marin looked, the more she fell head over heels for the idol's cuteness. At the same time, she realized this girl must really love her sister. Of course, Juju admitted she loves her sister Lita deeply. At first, Juju wanted to cosplay to capture her best looks, but Shizu, obsessed with her sister, created a nickname just to share those photos. Unexpectedly, Juju's photos started getting tons of likes and comments, but for someone as introverted as Goju, Shizu didn't know how to respond to fans and ended up ignoring them. As for the camera, compared to a phone, it has sharper resolution and automatically delivers full HD images. For background blur to highlight the subject, it works from near or far. Shizu always wants to improve her photography skills to capture her sister's cuteness for everyone to admire. Marin curiously asked Juju if she wanted to cosplay any character. It was the first time anyone asked her that, and she hesitated but quickly denied it, saying she only loves photographing her sister. Afterward, Shizu gave a quick intro to the camera. With eyes full of excitement seeing the camera, Marin couldn't hold back and asked to borrow it for a few test shots. What she called taking photos was just randomly snapping away. Realizing the camera's power, both of them resolved to save up and get one to keep up with friends. But it's not that easy. Glancing at the lens price shocked him, and with all the accessories, for broke folks like them, buying a camera is a distant dream. To wrap it up, they need to start saving first, then dream of getting a camera for better cosplay photos. The group picked an abandoned hospital as the studio, and next Sunday as the meetup time. That day, everyone arrived on time. Marin and Shizu hit it off, excitedly exploring everywhere. Meanwhile, the delicate Juju hesitated, standing frozen like a statue. Goju noticed and offered concern, but with her high pride, she acted tough, hiding her fear of ghosts. As he predicted, she pretended to be fine, but inside, tears welled up like an ocean. After a short walk, she was terrified and sat huddled in a corner. When Goju approached to check on her, her defenses crumbled completely. Juju asked softly, "Do you have a dream for yourself?" Of course, becoming a doll artisan has been his burning passion since childhood. Juju admired those who persist, ignoring others' judgments, and chase their dreams like him. She believed he would become an amazing artisan as he hoped. For Juju, her passion for transforming into fantastical characters started from watching magic shows as a kid. Over time, it grew deeper, and with more knowledge, she began her first cosplay, which was a total disaster. Juju didn't even do makeup, just added accessories to her outfit. Yet her passion only grew. She started experimenting and reached the level she has today. She told herself to push aside her fear of the dark space, as this would make her cosplay even more perfect. Juju also confessed she was jealous seeing Marin in Shizuku's outfit, so she wanted Goju to make one for her personally. From the heart, Juju said that for that costume she felt a deep affection. A deep affection right in front of him, for the Heine doll he felt the same way, and he was thrilled that people loved his work at first sight. Now, seeing Juju's love for his costume, he understood that feeling. Happiness beyond words. Overwhelmed with emotion, he grabbed her hand and promised to perfect the costume for her. Though touched, why on earth did he hold her hand like that? Heavens, more than 17 pots of rice cakes. It was her first time holding hands, and she was shocked, stiff. With that, the studio was settled. Conveniently, with no sewing today, Marin invited Goju to the beach, as summer and the sea go hand in hand. Arriving at the beach, the sparkling blue waves and cool breeze filled Marin with delight. In her hands, she held a hamburger in one and a bag of potato chips in the other. Seizing the moment, she used her full hands as an excuse to have Goju feed her the chips. But luck turned. A bold bird snatched her burger in broad daylight. Yet in misfortune there was fortune. They argued over the last one, sitting together, eating and enjoying the sea breeze romantically. With the sea so refreshing, not diving in would be a waste. Having come this far, Marin eagerly ran out to play. A gust of wind lifted her skirt, revealing a spring glimpse that caught his lucky eyes. Soon after, he joined her at her playful call. Recalling his childhood, Goju only buried himself in dolls, never visiting the beach or anywhere. So, his first time here felt truly relaxing and new. Seizing the chance, Marin invited him. From now on, she'll take him to many more places just for them. Though he didn't fully grasp her feelings, he nodded in agreement. Marin was overjoyed. She ran back to hide the happiness beaming on her face. In that moment, she sneakily snapped a photo of Goju. His handsome features in the shot made our loving Marin even more smitten. Practice makes perfect. After his first time making Marin's outfit, the second was effortless for Goju. Just a quick shopping trip with his girl, and he had all the accessories ready. Back in the room, out of nowhere, his girl lifted her skirt to show her underwear. It startled him so much he fell over. But wait, was this some special underwear? It's swimwear. She bought it yesterday and sent him pics. How dare he ignore her messages like that? Little did she know, after seeing those pics last night, he was up all night dealing with it. As if unaware of his struggle, Marin kept posing seductively in different ways. Completely defeated, he turned away quickly to avoid any mishaps. The lower half not listening as Cosplay neared. As Cosplay approached, everyone gathered at Goju's place for him to work his transformation magic on the lovely ladies. Like respecting elders, he let Juju try the outfit first. Once on, it fit perfectly, and Juju was thrilled with the result. However, some skirt edges needed work to make it puffier. She'd suggest improvements for future ones. Meanwhile, Marin witnessed her idol cosplaying for the first time. Her eyes sparkled with admiration. She's absolutely stunning. Right then, she wanted to hug and kiss her idol to strengthen their bond. When it was Marin's turn, since she couldn't do it alone like Juju, she needed Goju's help. To make her eyes bigger, Goju used the tape trick Juju taught him. Unexpectedly, the results exceeded everyone's expectations. Next came wrapping hair, adding wigs, applying makeup, eyeliner, and so on. And here's the final masterpiece, another stunning cosplay creation. Looking in the mirror, she was more shocked than last time. It was exactly like her favorite character. Even the picky Juju had to nod in approval at how amazing it was. Getting praised by her idol made Marin so excited, she playfully punched him. "You're talented beyond measure." But oh, she loved it. The whole team was buzzing for the photo day. However, it poured rain that day, which was a bummer. But since it was indoors, it didn't derail their plans much. Seizing the opportunity, with the two arriving early, Marin asked for a photo with her idol to post and make everyone jealous. As expected of idol Juju, her charm was on another level. Just posted, and boom like and comment storm hit. Right then, Goju and Shizu walked in. But both Marin and Juju looked puzzled by something unbelievable. Going back to the studio visit, after everyone left, Goju secretly called Shizu and asked if she liked cosplay, why hide it? He hit the nail on the head, scratching her itch. After some hesitation, she bowed her head and shared her thoughts. Truthfully, seeing her sister cosplay made her jealous every day. However, she's insecure about her body, fearing it won't suit the characters. What's more, with someone as dedicated to cosplay as her sister, Shinju fears breaking the character's image might make her sister despise her. He's the first to discover her hidden passion, and this is also Shinju's first time admitting it to anyone. Understanding her tricky situation, he comforts her, saying that during the cosplay event with Marin he saw so many people embodying their favorite characters. Everyone faces challenges in dressing up as their beloved characters, but their passion keeps them going without giving up. Simply put, if they just want to transform into the characters they admire, what's wrong with that? So, he hopes Shinju will give it a try. He also believes Juju won't be upset about it. At the same time, he promises, if she truly wants to transform, he'll keep it a secret for her no matter what. This timely comfort moves Shinju deeply. She bows her head in thanks and asks for his help this time. While fully committed, as he starts sewing for Shinju, he's shocked to learn the character she wants to cosplay is the handsome, gallant Soma from the Hell Princess series. How on earth can he hide that vibrant spirit of hers now? Besides, as a middle schooler, she lacks the funds to invest like her wealthy older sisters. Tough problems pile up, but since he promised, he'll see it through to the end. Of course, he's not giving up. After days of racking his brain, Gojo figures out a way to cut costs by lending her his own uniform. Soma is a high school boy, so the uniform in the show is quite similar to Gojo's. Waiting outside while she tries it on, when he goes in, Gojo sees everything fits well except for her oversized chest that's hard to handle. In just a few seconds, it's like two overinflated balloons bursting wildly, popping buttons everywhere, and he gets an unexpected steamy view of her ample curves. Remembering how Hina often wears kimonos, Gojo thinks of a new idea. In the old days, girls used chest-binding cloth to hide their bust for cross-dressing. This time, her bust is notably smaller, but it still doesn't match Soma's flat chest. After a quick Google search, he finds the perfect chest-binding top for girls, which becomes their current lifesaver. Luckily, it's affordable, within their tight budget. If it were more expensive, they'd have to give up and admit defeat. While taking measurements of her unique features, he accidentally touches places he shouldn't, creating an embarrassing situation for both. Next, they need a place to style the wig properly before finalizing. But even after thinking it over, he still hesitates to cut, fearing he'll ruin it completely. However, remembering his partner's encouraging words, everything has a first time, how will we know if we can do it without trying? Finally, he gathers the courage to make the cut. After all the efforts and mishaps, the handsome Soma from within is perfectly brought to life by Shinju, with his help. Feeling shy, Shinju asks him to keep it secret until the photoshoot day. Now, standing before her sisters, Shinju is still nervous, but both Marin and Juju praise her flawless cosplay. It's all thanks to our handsome helper Gojo. Shinju is so touched that she bursts into tears. First, the four of them take a group photo to remember the moment. Then, each one poses individually to capture the expressions of their cosplayed characters as closely as possible. When it's Marin's and Juju's turn for a joint shot, it starts off smoothly. Marin nails the cool, intense expression she needs. But just 5 seconds later, Marin melts completely while gazing at her idol so close up. Before, Juju hated events like this because people there were always joking around without any seriousness. But now, she feels the lively atmosphere isn't as bad as she thought. After a while, they finish shooting for the two sisters. While asking Juju to take photos for Marin, Shinju sneaks over to Gojo to thank him for helping her make her dream come true, helped Shinju realize her dream. As her sister, Juju blames herself for not being a good sister, never noticing her little sister's feelings. Gojo naturally comforts Juju, assuring her that no matter what, she's still the best sister in Shinju's heart. Oh, and he covered the costs for the costume and accessories for her. She'll pay him back everything. Even though he said he has pocket money, Juju insists on refusing. After all, money matters should be settled fairly for the photoshoot. The photoshoot ends with unforgettable memories. Everyone perfectly fulfills their roles. The photos taken by Shinju are of course flawless. Sitting together reviewing the photos, the sisters share a few heartfelt chats. Juju says she's grateful to Gojo for caring about Shinju so much. Shinju nods in agreement, saying thanks to Gojo, she finally had the courage to cosplay her favorite character. At the same time, Marin calls Gojo. She's so excited she calls him right away, asking if he's seen her photos yet. Right then, Gojo is looking at them, Both of them praise Shinju's photography skills. Marin is overjoyed and rewatches the entire long series. Then, she circles back to the main topic. Marin heaps praise on Gojo's makeup skills for turning Shinju into a boy despite never doing it before. When his beloved asks how he did it, Gojo honestly recounts the process of helping Shinju, and when she learns they were alone the whole time, Marin suddenly acts all jealous and pouty. Yet, as his girlfriend, she has no real right to complain. In the end, she swallows her bitterness and sits there stewing. Alone. The most anticipated summer break for students officially starts today. Last time at Marin's house watching anime, she suggested Gojo cosplay as the third character. With this long summer vacation, he doesn't have to worry about a packed schedule anymore and can take his time. Early this morning, Marin shows up at his house with her darkened skin, ready for the new cosplay. For the third time transforming into a seductive beast girl, Marin gave herself this tanned skin to match the anime's beast characters. Really, she just used body cream to get this color, nothing shocking about it. Ha ha. As soon as she enters, the bold girl asks to use his bathroom. Okay, go ahead and bathe. If you don't mind, you can borrow some of my clothes to wear. But Marin reminds Gojo not to peek at her while she's bathing. The poor guy stands outside, feeling guilty from her constant teasing. Now she's wearing his usual uniform. Plus, she used his bathroom and soap, leaving her with his scent, making her even more irresistibly charming. Meanwhile, Marin has brought all the cosplay tools here. Besides the tanning cream, there are chains and wallpaper to make it feel like she's in prison. For the mysterious fangs, he stumbled upon a nail hack to make fake teeth, so he tried it. Go ahead and try it. Marin puts them on, and the result is a perfectly fierce set of fangs. Her eyes light up, thoroughly impressed by Marin. Suddenly, she lifts her shirt up to her chest, intending to try the bust part too. Here, glimpsing her half-hidden curves, our heart-stricken guy can barely handle it. Not to mention the outfit Marin is wearing. With the chest area almost fully exposed, he can't stop his naughty thoughts when she puts on that revealing dress. His face turns red like a freshly boiled crab. Marin thinks Gojo is overheating and moves closer to check, but with her clumsy nature, she slips and falls, bumping her head into a big swollen lump. Now, how to fix the wig. So, today's cosplay plan is temporarily swapped for a romantic city date. All year, she only sees her boyfriend in uniforms or traditional home clothes, so Marin decides to take him on a full shopping spree today. Following her arrangements, Gojo tries on outfit after outfit as she requests. The flashy styles she picks even make the store owner wince. Yet, to Marin, no matter what he wears, he looks incredibly handsome beyond imagination. You all know, when you're in love, even if someone looks like a ragtag beggar, you see them as stunningly beautiful. After that, the two try on lots of clothes, eat, and explore many places. But in the end, they leave empty-handed because he doesn't like the flashy ones she chose. The lump on her head is less swollen now. At this rate, in a day or two, she can continue her new character cosplay. Thinking Gojo is as excited as she is, but instead he falls silent and says he might not join the cosplay this time. His words hit Marin like a thunderbolt, leaving her frozen in shock, unable to believe what she heard. After thinking it over, he finally reveals it's because the outfit is too revealing. He doesn't have the courage to see her in it. Oh, come on, that's the only reason. She thought it was something serious, and here he is overreacting. Marin quickly cheers up and gives the silly guy a playful kick. Thinking about how revealing the outfit is, she agrees to wear it only at home this time. But with such sexy photos, Gojo would be disappointed not to see them. To tease him further, she whispers in his ear, "Do you want to see the photos of me in it?" As a result, the guy freezes right on the spot. Feeling the heat, the two duck into a manga cafe to cool off. In a bit, with comics to read and coffee to sip. It's truly killing two birds with one stone. Plus, the snack stash here is perfect for the two to munch on instead of dinner. Sitting together on the same bench, so close, Gojo already feels the tension. Marin, whether on purpose or not, keeps swinging her smooth legs, making him even more flustered. At such close range, every swing of her leg leads to unnecessary touches. And our guy can hardly stay calm like the carefree beauty. While waiting for food, Marin shows Gojo a new manga she got this morning. It's a light, everyday story that's quite enjoyable. Marin also hints that there's a character she wants to cosplay, named Suba. A character who's incredibly capable. Adorable. Though Marin likes the character, she won't cosplay this time, because she lacks confidence, and feels she can't match the cuteness of the lead, so she decides to give up. As someone who cherishes anime, she doesn't want to ruin her favorite character's image. This is the first time Gojo sees the always confident Marin doubting herself. Continuing to encourage her, Gojo thinks she should give it a try. In his eyes, she's cuter than any girl he's met. Besides, if she likes the character, Why give up so easily? Trust him, he guarantees that if Marin transforms into this cute character, success is absolutely assured. With Gojo motivating her so passionately, who could refuse? Feeling newly inspired, Marin accepts the challenge, with her companion being no one else but our timid guy. Wait, Gojo doesn't know what Sukupt is like, so he wants her to explain. It's an everyday story about a demon named Su, who often gives men naughty dreams to suck their energy, full of drama and everyday vibes, right? Suddenly, he starts doubting the truth in her story. 100 hearsay isn't as good as experiencing it yourself. Gojo picks up the comic to read, and sure enough, her description is spot on. He's instantly hooked by the cute little demon. He can't stop reading. From that dreamy look in his eyes, you know he's totally addicted. When they leave, it's late afternoon. Gojo wants to stop at the bookstore to buy some comics for a deeper study. He's not admitting he's hooked on this series. Passing by a clothing store nearby, he quickly grabs 2 outfits to show off. But I don't see much difference from his old clothes. New clothes just tailored. Marin spots a perfect spot for photos right then. Before knowing the spot, Gojo was as excited as his girlfriend. But standing in front of the love hotel she chose, both want to vanish from there as fast as possible. Inside the room, seeing the comfy bed and romantic props, Gojo's mind screams SOS for help. Getting tricked into a love hotel with such a tempting girl. I dare anyone to handle it. Afraid he might misunderstand, Marin explains she saw the bed online yesterday. It matches the story's design perfectly. Act fast or lose it. So without thinking, she booked the room. Hearing this coincidental yet convincing excuse, however, no matter how much she explains, I still think our innocent guy has been thoroughly tricked by her. Gojo can't take it anymore. He suggests going somewhere else to shoot. But Marin won't let him leave so easily. She says they haven't shot yet, so leaving would waste money. Let's just get it done quickly and then sneak out of here. Oh, but things are about to get even more chaotic. She even invites him to join her in a couple's bath. While Marin enjoys the relaxing soak, outside, he's sitting there fighting a massive internal battle. How to hold back the rising tide now? He tries turning on the television to distress. But even the television is cheeky, showing a steamy film the moment it turns on. Frustration piles on frustration. He sighs and reminds himself to be careful in a place known as a love hotel. The temptation from Marin hits just as Gojo calms down, but then Marin steps out, fully transformed and looking amazing. Marin has truly transformed into Sailor Cutie. But this time, while working on it, he made a few adjustments to make it fit the character even better. At first, Gojo felt it was disrespectful to the original, and felt a bit guilty. But to suit her more, he went ahead and finished it anyway. This time Marin comforted him, saying it was perfect and exactly what she wanted. His heart felt a little lighter now, and he saw Marin as an absolutely wonderful girl. Just when it seemed so romantic, with their eyes locked in a passionate gaze, that mischievous girl suddenly said something that made them both sweat and argue endlessly. She heard that putting a condom in your wallet brings good luck and wealth. So, Marin started rummaging through her things to test her fortune, and ended up giving one to Gojo for fairness. Holding that awkward item in his hand, Gojo could only sigh quietly, utterly speechless about his bold wife. With limited time in the room, the two got started on their main task. Getting started on their main task as usual. As always, Gojo began showcasing his top-notch makeup skills. After some work, a perfect Sailor Cutie was born. Due to their tight budget, with poverty clinging like a leech and no money for a camera, the two poor souls had to keep using their phone. One posed enthusiastically, the other snapped away with joy. Before long, they finished shooting all the standout scenes. For the final scene, the one they were most excited about, shooting Sailor Cutie singing, Gojo played the novel's audio for him, but when, after shooting, Gojo felt something was off because the angle didn't capture perfect beauty. After thinking it over, he figured out the problem. He suggested to Marin that she sit on him. That way, they could get a straight upward shot for the ideal face angle. While singing, Gojo was so focused, these two were only thinking about capturing the most beautiful shot, nothing else. Their passion had them seizing the scene. All that effort for their passion, Gojo captured the most flawless singing scene of his demon girl. At that moment, moans echoed from the next room, full of mystery. It pulled the young pair back to reality. Only then did they realize how intimate their atmosphere and pose had become. Somewhere on them was touching, making our hero lose control. It just rose up, playing out wildly. Gojo panicked and jumped up, telling his wife to get off him right away. At the same time, his hands gripped Marin's waist, intending to lift her down. Marin jumped in shock, dropping the phone. Faced with his sudden move, Marin startled and dropped the phone onto the light switch. The room went pitch black, with heavy breaths mixing in the most intimate pose imaginable. Just as the two were about to go too far, the phone rang at that exact moment. They both jumped in frustration. it was the front desk calling to say their room time was up. The awkward situation was resolved, but the young pair still felt extremely embarrassed. Who knows what was on Marin's mind then? That night, our hero's hands were busy, his mind replaying his wife's alluring look from earlier. Early morning, Gojo was sketching Hana dolls when he got an SOS message from Marin. Rushing over, he found out she had piled up all her homework from the start of summer until now. Now it was crunch time, so she urgently called him for help. Last week, Marin had a date to go to the summer festival with her dad, but since she hadn't finished her homework, her dad cut it off, forcing her to stay home and finish it. What a bummer. All summer she hadn't gone to any festivals. Well, she brought it on herself. Who told her to be so lazy? As for why Marin left her homework piled up until now in a frenzy, simply, she's been grinding for money to buy herself a super fancy camera. Back home, he just remembered, Gojo still doesn't know what her part-time job is. Marin handed him a magazine full of stunning photos of the beauty, clearly taken by top-tier makeup and photography pros. Gojo kept staring, still wanting to see more. Back to the festival topic. Gojo mentioned that soon, there's a fireworks event near his place that's really fun. If she finishes her homework nicely by then, he'll take her there for a spot. Her spirits lifted right away, and she quickly dove into her homework. However, while looking through her stuff, she realized she left her math notebook at school. Oh well, what's done is done. Study without play and you lose your youth. Play without study, and you sell your future short. Forget those headaches for now. She tempted him to go watch a movie to unwind first, then head to school for the notebook later. Unlike before, this time Marin picked a horror movie to change things up. Not used to this genre, Gojo felt a bit excited. Marin acted all calm and cool, saying, "Don't worry, it's normal, not that scary." As the movie started, Gojo showed clear excitement. All talk, but now he's shrinking in fear, almost wetting himself, eyes glued to the screen, while the one who was boasting is now huddled up, shaking uncontrollably. Our hero even thought it wasn't intense enough. On top of that, this insensitive guy kept rewinding to study the costumes and makeup of the horror characters. So, Marin stayed silent for the rest of the time, back to that pile of unfinished homework. With her beloved husband's enthusiastic help, Marin nailed that haunting English subject. The only thing left was math, which they needed to go to school to get, and math needed to be fetched from school. In the sweltering heat, the two trudged along, spotting the refreshing blue pool. Marin, being playful and unable to resist, ignored his warnings and rushed over to splash around. As a result, from carelessness, she face-planted into the dark river, and she didn't even know how to swim. Gojo had to jump in and pull her up. Weak and still venturing out, not knowing how to swim but loving the sea, Gojo wondered if she really enjoyed those beach trips. Going to the beach doesn't always mean swimming. Sometimes just sitting, sipping, feeling the sea breeze and watching the gentle waves is enough to heal the soul. Hey, that's just like him. Even if his Hina doll paintings aren't perfect, he still loves doing it. Simply because he enjoys the work and wants to keep at it. Under the fading evening light, the young pair sat chatting endlessly. As promised, once the homework was done, her beloved husband would take her to see the fireworks at the festival. Wearing the outfit they just bought, Gojo went there first to wait for her. In the bustling crowd, the beautiful Marin stood out in her eye-catching yukata, rushing to Gojo. As soon as she saw his new clothes, she praised him endlessly. Gojo looked amazing in his yukata. In return, he thought Marin's yukata fit her so well and looked stunning. Her cute hairstyle blended with Marin's soft charm, making Gojo unable to look away from his wife. Seeing him stare so much, Marin teased playfully, "Are you drowning in my beauty?" Hey, she's right, and she said it loud, as if his expression wasn't clear enough. Passing from one stall to another, Marin kept asking him to buy snacks before they'd head to the fireworks area. Eating candy while watching is the perfect combo. Even though the fireworks festival is near his home, this is Gojo's first time attending. After 17 years, the feeling is indescribable. As the first firework launched, the sky burst with vibrant colors. I feel like adding music to this scene. Watching fireworks together on the rooftop across the river would make it truly epic, folks. Now, surrounded by firework sounds and cheers from the crowd. But Gojo heard nothing. Before him, only two dazzling sights. First, the fireworks lighting up the sky. Second, Marin, more beautiful than the fireworks. To break out of his comfort zone and reach this day, for him, it's all thanks to the lovely and beautiful Marin. Instead of watching the fireworks like everyone else, his eyes kept drawn to his wife's pure beauty. You watch the world, I watch you, that's it. Just then, Marin turned. Their eyes met, wanting to gaze forever, but then her green tongue from the candy spoiled the moment, and just like that, both killed the mood for the whole evening. Wandering around, Marin's delicate feet swelled from the high heels. Gojo thought of going to a convenience store for band-aids, but that would take time, so he circled back. Marin suggested Gojo take her there directly. And of course, she was purposely asking for a piggyback ride, you guys. Feeling Marin's soft parts rubbing against him, Gojo almost held his breath, telling her to sit still or things could get out of hand for both. Honestly, she told him today was so much fun. She hopes next year, she and Gojo can watch fireworks like this again. Gojo felt overjoyed, smiling to himself. He hopes next year they can go together, just like today. And so, on that cool summer night, so pure, the young pair made innocent promises on his back, walking and chatting happily. On the last night of summer break, Marin called Gojo, pretending she just wanted to hear his voice. But really, this grandma caught a chill from watching horrors and pushing her luck. Now, she doesn't dare sleep, even the shower water dripping makes her jump and want to scream. It's late, and tomorrow's school. If she doesn't sleep, she'll get in trouble for sure. She can't just shamelessly ask her love to sleep over. Marin suggested Gojo leave his phone on. Once he hears her asleep, he can hang up so she'll feel less scared. The two lay there chatting idly for a bit. She sighed because summer flew by too fast. She had so much more she wanted to do with Gojo, but it ended too soon. Marin thanked him again for sharing so many wonderful moments this summer. At first, the plan was for him to hang up once she slept, but from exhaustion he dozed off. Marin waited until Gojo was deeply asleep before whispering through the still open phone. 3 sweet words, I like you. And so, after this long journey, the young pair's feelings have made remarkable progress. But if you want to see them reach the final harbor, you'll have to stick around for part 2 with me. Part 1 ends here. So, goodbye, and see you in the next videos.